Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? I'm trying something new, so I'm just wondering if everyone can hear me now. Oh, great. You guys can hear me. Good, 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 good. Okay. So I just wanted to come here live tonight. First, let me say hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining me. If you come into the page, please say hello so that I can know you are here. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Sharon Pratt Brokenbow, and I am an executive leadership and diversity coach. And I work primarily with women to help them to get to the next level in their careers easier and faster. And I wanted to come on tonight because this graphic, we see this all the time. If you can see this graphic, please let me know you can see it. Just drop it right there in the chat and let me know that you can see the graphic. Hopefully you can. Oh, good. You see it. Great. All righty. So I wanted to come and talk a little bit about this graphic. We see this all the time. And it says employees stay when they are. And it has these 10 specifics that um, employers should make sure that they are doing to make sure that they keep their employees. And this is coming up really right on time because I'm also an adjunct professor and I teach human resources and human relations and administrations and those disciplines. And this week, we happen to be talking about, motivation. And so this came up. Um, hey, Dawn. This came up, what motivates employees to do their best. And while this is true, that as employers, supervisors and managers and leaders, we should be making sure that we are providing our staff with all of the things in this graphic. I just wanted to come and talk about it from the employee perspective. So what should employees be doing? What is their part? What is their responsibility in these five areas? Um, Unfortunately, a lot of times as employees, we sit back and we put the responsibility for our professional development on our employer. And while I do agree that, great organizations do provide these things for their employees and for their staff, I do think that it is your responsibility as an employee to also go after these opportunities. And so I just wanted to talk about them one by one, very briefly. But if you guys have any questions about, any one of these topics within this graphic, when I get to it, please ask me about it. The first one is paid well. And I know everybody wants to talk about that. Like, what can I do as an employee to be paid well? But I'm going to save that one until last. So we're going to skip to being mentored. If you do not already have a mentor, you need to get one and get one fast. Everyone should have a mentor. And believe it or not, a lot of your senior leaders have one. They may not say, but they do have one. So just like every pastor has a pastor, and every therapist has a therapist, and every coach has a coach, I have one. Every employee should have a mentor. So good question, Tasha. How do you go about getting a mentor? Great. Ment- Finding a mentor is usually something that pretty much happens naturally. There is someone who is senior to you, who sees something in you, takes a liking to you, and helps you out and supports you along your professional journey. And sometimes that relationship just kind of happens naturally. If it does not, then you should be seeking a mentor and officially asking that person to mentor you. And just because you have a mentor, you as the mentee have responsibilities as well. So if there is someone in your organization who is has a good reputation, who is senior to you, who is trustworthy, because your mentor has to be trustworthy, because you, quite frankly, may be having conversations with your mentor that you don't feel comfortable having with your boss or your peers or coworkers. So a mentor has to be someone that you trust, that you can have these conversations with, who are going to keep them confidential. It also has to be someone, which is why I say that they should be senior to you, because it has to be someone that is going to give you good counsel and is going to and give you good advice. So if you have someone either in your organization or outside of your organization that kind of fits those characteristics, and you really kind of haven't solidified that mentor mentee relationship, I would say reach out to them, set up some time to sit down and talk. Let them know that you are interested in them being your mentor, and then you need to let them know or ask them, what that looks like for them. Are you guys going to meet once a week? Are you guys going to meet once a month, once a quarter? What are the things that you are going to be looking and requiring from your mentor? And then what are the things that you're going to be doing as a mentee? And so if that relationship hasn't happened naturally, you can definitely ask someone who is trusted, who is senior to you, who has a good reputation, and who is going to give you good counsel to officially be your mentor. And so there's two ways that you can do it, Tasha. Either you can just stand out and someone will recognize you and just start mentoring you just naturally, or there's someone that you may look up to in the organization and that you can just ask them, would you mind being my mentor? So that's being mentored. That's how you have the responsibility for also seeking a mentor. Then we come to challenge. And I don't know about you guys, but I have always, not always, but I have been in situations, been in jobs where I just have not been challenged. And a lot of times we put that responsibility again on the employer. But I will say to you that you share in the responsibility to stay challenged in your role. And so how can you do that? You can be proactive in solving problems. If you see a process or procedure that you believe can go a little better, you can bring that idea to your manager, to your supervisor, to your boss. Ask them if you can take that on as a special project. A lot of times we don't really advocate for ourselves to put ourselves in positions where we have a role that is challenging to us. And when you're not challenged, you're not motivated. And unfortunately, that can and will spill over into the product that you put out as at work. It's gonna spill into how well you do your work. Are you going to do just enough so that you don't get fired? Or are you really going to put your best into it if you're not challenged in your role? So look for those opportunities that you can lend to your to your organization so that you can stay challenged within your role. Yes, special projects. That's always a good way. And you know what? It works twofold because you help your organization with the special projects by, maybe streamlining lining a process or, finding a solution to something that everyone knew was a problem, but really didn't have the opportunity to tackle. But you also gain that experience. So you gained that experience that no one can take away from you that you could eventually use for a promotional opportunity or use when performance appraisal time comes around, that above and beyond section. So it's a win-win for both people. Doing something and going out and looking for things that'll challenge you in your role instead of waiting for your employer to give them to you. And I'm going to skip over promoted for a second because that's going to go with the paid well. And so we're at involved. Um, Employees want to feel that they are involved. They want to feel that they belong and that they're a part of the overall mission of the organization. As employers, as leaders, we should be giving our employees opportunities to become involved in certain things. But just like being challenged, you also have a responsibility as the employee to seek out opportunities where you can become more involved. And ways that you can do this is joining committees within your organization. You also here can, volunteer for special projects. Are there other, small groups or groups within your organization or special projects within your organization that are cross departmental that you can ask to be a part of? And instead of, just sitting back and doing your normal day-to-day job, how do you grow and expand your experience if you don't kind of get out of your silo and get involved in other things? I believe highly in doing and getting involved in projects that are outside of your department, because that's how you become visible in other areas of your organization. And what I always say to people is that visibility is viability. If you stay visible, if you stay in front of people, then you will be on people's minds when other opportunities come to play. So if you stay visible, if you get involved in other areas within your organization, or even within your department with other, if you work in a large organization and you work in a large department, and maybe there's other sections of your department that you don't usually intersect with, see how you could be of value to those other departments. What projects could you get involved in? How could you help? How could you be of value? So those are some things that you can do in that area. Appreciate it. Yes, we should, as leaders, we should definitely strive to make our staff feel appreciated. But again, I will say, what have you done as an employee? And I know I'm not saying that you just doing your job and your responsibilities is not enough to be appreciated, because that's what you were hired to do. And so if you're doing that well, yes, you should be appreciated. How do you stand out? How do you stand out? What are you doing to stand out? And that goes along with being valued. What are you doing to stand out? Organizations invest in their high potential employees. And all of the things that we're talking about here tonight is how you can start to be recognized as a high potential employee that your organization would want to invest in, because they see something in you and they see something of you of value. And so they want to cultivate it and invest in it. And the win-win is that they get to hold on to a valuable employee and you get to grow professionally. Let me know if that makes sense. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. The next one is on a mission. When an employee sees that when an employer sees that you are on a mission, you're basically saying to your employer, I want more. There's more that I want to do. A lot of times we go to work every day, we work really hard. We're the first one there, we're the last one to leave. We're working until, wee hours of the night on the weekends. We're pretty much on call. And we think that that within itself is enough to be recognized and then hopefully, promoted and paid well. But you have to be vocal about that. I don't know how many times I have talked to clients who were upset about not being chosen for the promotion within their department to find out that no one really knew that they wanted it. And so are you on a mission to be vocal and advocate for yourself to gain these experiences and let others know what your professional goals are so that they can help you and help advocate for you? That's what that mentor can do. And also a sponsor. They can help you. A mentor can help shape and mold you so that you're ready to get to that next level in your career that you want to. So are you on a mission for these things? Then we get to being empowered. As leaders, we should be empowering our staff. We should be giving them the autonomy to make decisions on their own. Are you stepping up and doing that? Are you stepping up and empowering yourself and making decisions and standing out within your organization? Just really be real with yourself and ask yourself, are you doing that? Are you taking advantage of those opportunities? Or are you on the sideline? And then we get to trusted. Have you proven to your employer that you can be trusted, that you are trustworthy? How can you expect to get to the next level of your career if there's been no instances where someone can say that you can be trusted either with confidential information, sensitive information? Are you displaying these characteristics? And so all of these characteristics are things that, should be displayed beforehand, not when you apply for that promotion, not when that promotion is posted, but you have to be proactive in these things. Be proactive in these things so that your employer can see that you are ready. So that when that promotional opportunity does come along, you're first on their mind. And so that brings me back to promoted and paid well. If you are doing these things, if you have really sought out a mentor and you're really, making good use of your mentor, if you're seeking out opportunities yourself to be challenged, if you're getting involved within your organization, if you're joining committees, if you're working on cross-departmental projects, if you're showing characteristics within yourself, within your work product that should be appreciated and valued, if you're showing that you're on a mission to do more with your professional career, if you are showing that you can step up and make decisions, then you're putting yourself in a position that when a promotional opportunity does come along, you will probably be first on the mind. And if not, at least you have exhibited these characteristics beforehand. The last thing you want to be is the candidate that someone is hoping that you'll be able to do these things. You want to be the candidate that has already demonstrated that you can do these things. So, don't wait until that promotional opportunity is available. Go for it now. Be working on these things now. And I hope that makes sense. So when you are promoted because you've already exhibited these characteristics, there comes the paid well part. And I just hope that all of this really, really, really makes sense. If you have any other questions about how you personally, within your personal organization, can work to exhibit any of these characteristics, how you can be proactive in exhibiting any of these characteristics so that you yourself can be promoted and paid well and have that personal and professional satisfaction, reach out to me. This is something that I work with my clients with all the time. Coming and saying, I've been stuck in my current role. Um, Everyone comes to me for advice when something goes wrong because I have all the subject matter expert um, in my department. But somehow I keep being, I keep getting passed over for that supervisory role or that director role. What am I doing wrong? And 9 times out of 10, they have not exhibited that they are ready for that role. And then what happens is they wind up training their new boss. And I'm here to tell you that's a sucky place to be in. All because you haven't exhibited beforehand that you are ready to step into that role. And you haven't worked your connections, that mentor, that sponsor, to be able to advocate for you when those promotional opportunities come about. So, I didn't really talk about networking tonight, but that's key because a lot of people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I say it's not who you know, it's who knows about you. Who knows that you exist, that you have these qualities, that you have this experience, so that when a promotional opportunity, even before it's posted, comes up, somebody is already thinking about you because you have exhibited these qualities beforehand. So think about how you can be strategic in using any of these in this graphic. How can you be strategic about putting some action steps in place so that you appear as a high potential employee, one that someone doesn't want to lose and one that an organization wants to invest in. And so again, if you have any questions about how you personally can do that in your organization, I would say reach out to me. I work with my clients on this all the time. Reach out to me. We'll have a conversation. We can find out what your goals are, what your challenges are, and how I may be able to support you in getting to where it is that you want to be professionally, and how you can do that easier and faster without, keep running into that same brick wall over and over and over again. So you can reach out to me. You can send me a private message on Facebook under Sharon Pratt, Pratt, or you can feel free to email me at Sharon@ROSprofessionals with an S.com. And again, we can set up some time. We can schedule a free strategic call to talk about your challenges and your goals and how I think I can support you. So I thank everyone for joining me tonight, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.